So we've just got a really good episode planned for you today. It's about antiques, talking a little bit about the Clay City Glass Company.
Yes, the Clay City Glass Company. So a lot of people don't know about that because it was kind of a big deal in the 1920s.
I don't think I ever knew about it till I've told you that I've had went to auctions with my mother. I have a lot of family from Clay City, and so I didn't even really know it was a thing. And then people be like, "Oh, I'll never forget Colonel Paul Gibson. Oh, here it is, ladies. Here it is, ladies. The Clay City Glass Company." And I'm like, "What? What? What's the Clay City Glass Company?"
Yeah, no, I had no idea.
That depression glass, but they didn't really call it depression glass.
No,
I did learn something.
Different. That was something different.
I learned something on this episode. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So, before we jump into telling you all about the Clay City Glass Company, let's talk about our Better Homes and Gardens magazine.
You know how I love these.
Oh, I know. They're full of interesting things from the past. I mean, a glimpse into the life of a housewife in the 1950s, I'll tell you.
Is there anything better?
No.
I don't think there is. Okay, let's see here, Beth. Let's do a little zooming in, babe. Can you zoom in on this? Well, I got some glasses in here. Okay,
there we go.
Better Homes and Gardens. See, they're getting ready for the springtime too. They got their cool furniture out there. I love that orange. Orange is like my favorite color.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this is that patio furniture is actually something you might find today that would look very similar to that. I mean, that whole style is kind of back in style.
Yeah, it is. Well, look at that little pergola that they've got over there. I mean, isn't that kind of neat?
Yeah, they need a vine growing across it. That'd be pretty.
Yeah, I have a pergola, but I don't want a vine growing over it because who knows what's in there. But yeah, I think I actually Connor got a house, and my son Connor Earlywine got a house in Belleville, and we bought patio furniture, and I pretty much think it looks just like that. Yeah, great. I love that cover, Beth.
Me too.
But we are going to Better Homes and Garden. All right.
Is this what we're looking at here?
September 1954. Yes.
Okay.
Look at that console. Let me get on the right page.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they have their TV there in the center.
I know. And it almost looks like a washer and dryer.
I know. I was kind of like, well, what even is it?
No, you know what? But you know what the ad is about? The paneling.
Oh.
Now, pre-finished hardwood paneling you install with a brush.
What?
I don't understand that. Yes, and it's guaranteed for life for your home, which is true because we had paneling in our house when we bought it.
I've lived in a house with paneling.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the part about you install it with a brush.
Yeah. What? No nails? Absolutely not. This is special pre-finished weldwood paneling is installed with the weldwood contact cement.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, they're using a brush and they're painting the glue onto the plaster or the drywall, whatever they had, and then they're sticking the paneling to it. All right.
Did you just realize that our light bulbs both went off at the exact same? Oh, that's it.
Okay.
But look at this super cool. Okay, like I said, it looks like a washer and dryer. So you've got your TV. I would love to have this in my house right now. You have the TV, and then look, you got a record player. That's a record player and a radio, because above it, that little shelf is records.
Yes, and then you have a globe there in case you need to think about
where
world.
You're at. You might want to think about the world, and then
what's down there in that drawer? Is that a drawer?
On
the right, or is that the record player?
That's the record player.
Oh, okay, it's lower than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, that's the record player. Yeah, you'd have to really bend over.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got the wall hanging. That orange wall hanging is fantastic. And that chair. Let's talk about that chair.
That chair looks like something my grandmother used to have.
Right? It's awesome. But I don't know. You can barely see the curtains on the far right side, guys. But the curtains actually match the chair.
Of course they do.
It's the same pattern.
Oh, man, they liked to be matchy-matchy back then.
And that super cool shag carpet.
I was wondering when you were going to get to the green shag carpet.
I have a love affair with carpet.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, it's great when it first comes.
That is a great...
I know.
That's a great ad. I love that one.
That is a great ad.
What year did you say that was? 54?
1954.
So for those of you that have paneling in your old home right now and you've wondered how on earth to get it off, good luck. I think it's probably glued on.
Well, apparently it is because what? No nails? Absolutely. Yeah, and it came into, I'm trying to see how much it cost. I don't know. Let's see. Quickly and easily installed on studs or directly to present wall with metal clips which hide nail heads. Clips included with each package. 16 and a quarter wide by 8 long. Approximately price for 8 by 12 wall. So you literally could have done an 8 by 12 wall. The cheapest one here looks like it's the birch for $60.
So it would have cost $60 to do a small room in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do they even make paneling anymore?
Yeah, they do, actually. And they make it like, it's not always like wood. Like you can get a piece of paneling that actually looks like bathroom tile.
Yeah.
Or different things like that. Because we had a bathroom, we actually ended up re-drywalling it. But we had a small bathroom in one of the bedrooms that the people before us had taken a door out and the whole room was kind of crooked. And I actually thought about buying some of that paneling that looked like bathroom tile just to kind of hide the fact that there used to be a door.
Oh,
And
yeah.
well, we ended up just tearing the drywall out and redoing the drywall. But that would have been a cheaper way to do it and hide that.
So I think all the paneling must have come out in the 50s. My house was more built in the 30s. The back part of the house, though, a family room, dining room was built on, and it was actually built on, I think, in the 70s, and it had paneling on one wall, but I painted that thing, and nobody even knew it's gone now because we gutted that room.
Yeah.
We painted that. I'm like, I can't live with paneling.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never lived in a house with paneling.
I
always had.
Yeah,
we
I
didn't
had a
have
house
paneling.
we lived in for a short time that was paneling. But whenever Jason, well, actually, when I was 18, I bought my first place. I moved out from home, and I bought a trailer because I could buy the trailer and pay a house payment on the trailer for cheaper than I could find rent anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was going to school over at Olney, and I wanted to live a little closer to school, so I bought a trailer in Flora at age 18. The bank combined my house payment and my car payment, and it was $170 for both.
Wow.
For my car payment, and that's what I paid every month, and my house payment. And so, anyway.
Wow.
My trailer had paneling all through it.
Nice.
It was from the 60s. And we painted every paneling in there white. Oh, my gosh. It was... Chip and Joanna would have been proud.
They would have been proud of you.
It was pretty darn cute. And and then my dad, he's real handy, he helped me paint. And when I say he helped me paint, I mean he painted my oven and my stovetop red. Because it had an olive green... it had olive green appliances in the kitchen that were like stained. It wasn't like a pretty cool olive. It was like it needed to be something, but they worked fine. We painted them bright red, and my kitchen was black, red, and white. It was so vintage and so cute.
That is cute. But you painted the appliances?
Yes, there's appliance paint out there, and you can paint them.
I believe there's paint for everything.
There is. This was 25 years ago. So.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
See, I would have never thought you could have painted appliances. That back,
yeah.
I mean, back.
Bright red. Bright red appliances, and then a black and white tiled floor. It was so. It still had like a 1950s, 60s vibe to it, but it was just so pretty.
I worked at a hair salon in Panama City Beach in 1987 when I moved down there to be with my sister Diane for a while, and she did that white, black, and red. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's never been my thing, but I like it when I see it. But I'm not a red person. You're a red girl.
Yeah, I love red.
You're red's your color.
Yeah,
so.
red and purple are my colors. So.
Yeah, I like orange and yellow. So
yeah.
That's the one thing we
We're not exactly alike.
We're not exactly alike.
Okay. You got to have a little differences so that you complement each other.
Exactly, but yeah. So yeah, just if you got paneling and you don't like it, just paint it. Go see Norm at Ace Hardware.
Yeah, he'll hook you up with
paint.
He'll
hook you up right now. You paint a lot whenever you go out to out to Ace Hardware, and Norm's like, "What are you doing today?" He does it with me and my sister Diane. Bill. Yeah, it's like, and then it's like, "Okay, Norm, okay, you wrote it down. You wrote it down." And like he clicks your name, and it's like, dit, 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 dit. And I'm like, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, there's like always. He pulls up my name. There's like 20 different paint colors. I have to kind of go by the date I bought it.
I'm obsessed with paint.
I think I painted that room and. I don't know. I go through phases where I don't paint for a few years, and then I get into something and I want to paint. I paint everything in the whole house.
Oh, yeah.
So I did that this past, fall? Painted every room in the house.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did that during COVID. When COVID hit, we painted the sunroom a different color, and I painted the upstairs bedroom. It was red, and I painted it a color. Yeah, what were you going to do when you got shut down during COVID? You just paint everything. Oh, the worst thing I started painting was around the pool before we replaced it with this new pool. Oh my goodness!
Were you painted outside?
Oh, I painted outside in April, and it was because you're thinking, okay, it's
what
just
did you paint?
The
deck.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, every little, and it's like there's 4. It was when I started that, it was like, what am I doing? It was a nightmare. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would have wanted to start that one.
I think I called in Stephanie Pride. I'm like, hey Stephanie, what's going on? What are the kids doing? Get over here and help me paint because it was awful.
Yeah. I feel like that though every time I start a painting project. I always go into it knowing that it's going to be like so great and I'm going to love this color, but then I get like a day into the work and I'm like, why did I do this? My house is a mess and paint is everywhere. And
well, my front living room, I don't like the color. It's like a darker gray, and Jim and I painted it, and it's just like maybe if I just lighten up 2 walls, I'll be happy. I just don't know which 2 walls because you got to be careful because like this wall connects to this wall, then it connects to that big hallway, then connects to the family room, and it's like, okay, which ones am I doing? I just don't have the heart to tell Jim that I do.
Do you think that you go in a cycle of color, no color, color, no color? Because that's what I do at my house. Like I'll be like, I want color everywhere. I want this room to be bright and cheerful. I want this room to be yellow. And I go and and then like a few years go by and I'm like, white. Everything must be white. That's where we're at right now. Everything in the house is back to white, which is where it was when we started. But through the years, oh my gosh.
Oh, we came in and we painted everything white because back in the 90s, that's what you did, white everything. Then I went through that. I had a room that was yellow, one that was red, one that was green, one that was bright royal blue. I mean, it was like everything completely changed. I don't even know what I did with the boys when they were home. And it was insanity. I remember when I painted my front living room yellow because it's my second favorite color, and I got new furniture delivered from Ubingers, and I had nothing, like the white trim wasn't up, and I mean it was like the sun. It was like our "We Can Do It" poster yellow. I mean it was pretty bright, and those boys came in and carried that, and I said, "Hey, do you love this paint color?" No. But we got to take a quick commercial break after you realize that I've screwed up my yellow room.
We'll be back.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we are talking about the Clay City Glass Company. So Clay City, Illinois, right around the corner from Flora, Illinois. And you know what, we're about 6 miles apart, I think, for those of you that don't actually live in the county. So it's a little bitty town, and who would have thought that they had a big glass company there?
Exactly. You know, Clay City was the oil boom.
Yes.
Clay City was the happening place. Not quite as happening as Sailor Springs. I still think Sailor Springs has got us all beat.
Mm-hmm.
But Clay City had that big. What I found interesting is that the glass company was upstairs in the building.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
It was a big building, but it was just the upstairs. So here's a
1920s.
picture. Yeah.
And that building's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, that one's still there.
Okay.
The one
Yeah.
you can see kind of down to, like, you got the big building, then two little short buildings, and that brick on the right. That one's the one that's coming down now. But this
Okay.
building's still here.
Okay, so yeah, you can see there on the side of the building, it was once painted, Clay City Cutting Company, America's, what's that say, finest table glassware.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I think, and then when I was younger, after it was all taken, finished, closed, the business, that bottom was a laundromat when I was a little girl.
Oh, okay.
I loved going in that laundromat. Not that I took my laundry there, or my granny took her laundry there, but they had, like, bubblegum machines and stuff. Laundromats were super cool.
Really?
Oh my gosh, there was a laundromat in every part of Flora, and every one of them had candy machines and candy. Oh, it was great. A laundromat was great. We'd ride our bikes around town, and you'd get the soda with the bottles. Oh yeah, laundromats were great.
Oh, fun.
So that's another show, laundromats. They were everywhere.
Okay.
Almost every, if you drive in the south end of town, almost every, like, looks like a weird concrete building that's empty was a laundromat.
Okay, because back then just not everyone had their own washer and dryer.
No. Like that big building that's right behind Building C there where the auditorium is at on Flora Avenue.
Yeah.
That two-story one. Laundromat. With a candy store.
I always wondered what that was.
It was a laundromat and apartments upstairs.
Huh.
See, neat. But
Yeah.
anyway, 1920s cutting designs in glassware and marketing called the Clay City Glass Company. What I found interesting, Beth, was the fact that I thought they made the glass, but they did not. But I might be jumping ahead of myself here.
Well, no, we can talk about that. So basically, they etched glass is what they did. They etched glass and they put designs in the glassware. They did not make the glasses or the plates. It was all brought in on the rail cars in the trains. And then they brought them upstairs to that building we just looked at, and then they had a bunch of machinery up there where they would etch into the glass. I'll zoom in. Why don't you hold up one of these?
Look at this. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Very much known for the great pattern, you see?
See that
and this is different, because, like, you can feel it. It's actually...
Yeah, hold that one real still. Maybe it'll focus in on it. Yeah,
there
see there? See there, the grape pattern? That was the pattern they were most known for. And tumblers, like this one in her hand, was their most common item. This is what they made the most of.
Yes. Yeah, and even the glass is actually beveled.
Yes. So
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, if you were to have one of these at home and you feel that, you can definitely feel the glass is like
Yeah, you can feel it, yeah.
Especially those leaves. That's supposed to be the way to really tell.
Yeah, the leaves are actually, they're
very deep.
They're deep. The leaves are very deep.
And like at a sharp V.
Yes.
Inside.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, this company was incorporated on October the 8th of 1924.
Yes.
And they were able to start by having a lot of shareholders.
Yeah, who were the main gentlemen that started it?
Well, there was Hopkins, William Hopkins, and Clayson Black were two of the, but there was also
so many. Duff, a C.D. Duff, and a T.H. White.
Yes.
Why was the majority of those, why did they use their initials?
All men did that back then.
I wonder why.
I don't know, but C.W. Tolliver, J.E. Coggin, C.H. Bones, Carter, Mosley, Hunley, Bateman, Black, Hunley, Duff, Hopkins, Gibbs, Ragsdale, Levitt, Pittner, Blessing, Bones, Belt. The Pixleys are on here. There was a whole, Brissetons. There was a whole list of people that invested in this company, and their investments were usually $100, $500, or $1,000 that they invested in this company. And they were ready to make a go of it.
Right.
The only problem is that it was the 1920s.
So we're talking...
Which started off good but ended bad.
Right. Yeah, that depression hit.
Yeah.
So you had all those shares. I wonder what their income off that was at that time.
I don't know, but I think they had several employees.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, you had a lot. But the interesting thing was that the glass was shipped into boxcars, and then it was engraved, and then it was sent out, and it was sent a lot of places. It was sent out by the thousands.
Thousands and thousands.
Thousands
all
and thousands
over.
all over to Chicago, St. Louis, New York. So
Yeah.
Clay City glass is all over our country.
Yeah, like if you go to antique stores, if you know what to look for, you can be looking for this stuff.
Oh, definitely.
The sad thing to me, though, is that they never put their name on any of it.
I know.
Like, if you look at the bottom of any of this,
Nothing.
Nothing. It's nothing. So, someone that I talked to, they said you just have to know how it feels. And when you see something etched, especially the leaves, if you're familiar with how it feels, you can identify if it's from Clay City or not from Clay City. So, let's take a look at this piece here.
Oh, my goodness sakes.
Hand it over to you.
Hand it
and
over
let
to me.
zoom in on
This is, yeah.
So this is a serving platter that they had. It's kind of a pink color, so it's the same color as like pink depression glass.
It is. It's
But-
the exact same color as pink.
But it's not what people consider
No,
depression.
they did not, and I had no idea that that's how that was. But yeah, it was not considered. But yeah, it's beautiful. See, look, when I hold it this way,
What would you serve on that?
me,
Yeah,
I would serve cheese and crackers.
yeah. You
Yeah.
think that's what it was designed for?
Yeah.
I'm always confused. Like,
And it's
what's
got
the-
that beautiful flower print. And the other recognizable thing, Beth, is you're not gonna be able to see that way. But like the flower, nothing connects. So you've got
Yes.
like the leaf, the flower, the leaves, and
Can
then
we
over
tilt
here.
that like
Can you tilt
this?
and see if
I
it?
don't know if it'll autofocus. If I put my hand behind it, maybe.
I don't know, but they don't
No,
connect.
it's hard
like,
to see.
It's got like
But
three
this
different
one down
designs.
Here, yeah, there's 3 different flowers, but none of the stems of the flowers touch, and that's something that sets Clay City glassware apart
Yeah.
from other glassware that is etched. Is that Clay City's their designs never touch.
Nothing touched.
Another thing to look for if you're,
I
and maybe
know.
you have something at home in your cabinet right now, and you're like, wait, is that from there? These are
Yeah, go check it out.
These are the only clues I can give you.
Well, and the other thing is like they came in the clear, and they
Yes.
came in the pink and the green.
Oh, there was green.
There was green.
Okay.
I don't have any green. I think I have. I went through after John Baylor. We must say John Baylor is the
Yes.
one that brought us. These are his pieces,
Yes.
and he's probably not getting that pink one back.
He'll
So
probably be like,
I mean,
"Stacey."
like John. I don't know what happened, but
So, yeah, John Baylor was actually related to some of these original investors.
oh yeah,
Yes, they're a family. And in 1928, 2 of the original investors took over the whole shebang. So they bought out all of the other investors. So in 28, and it started in 24. So this is only 4 years later.
yeah. This was a short-lived
Yes, so
venture.
4 years after the whole thing started, 2 of them, the Clayson Black and the William Hopkins, they were the kind of the big shareholders anyway. I think they took the whole thing over as the only shareholders, and then sadly, they only had it for 2 years, and then they closed their doors completely in 1930.
Huh.
So, which
When
you
did
know,
when
the
did
depression was 1929.
Yeah.
So the depression hit, and that was kind of the end of it. Suddenly, people didn't have money to spend on
On
expensive
expensive
glassware.
glass, yeah, because we're talking, the turn of the century, the beginning where the Victorian age was coming on. So I think that the glassware was just a little bit behind its time.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to see some of the green if anybody's got the green.
Let's hold that one piece up that we
Oh.
haven't really looked at yet.
Oh, this one's neat too, and I got to be careful because it's the leaf pattern. It's like it almost looks like it's just like a leaf, and it's got like a real deep edge right here. Yeah, and this is just a pretty vase. You'd probably put candy in, or
Yes, it looks like more like a candy dish. I could see like my grandma always had peppermints in her living room.
Ooh, my granny was a butterscotch girl.
Oh,
My granny would
I
have had
like
yellow
that better.
butterscotch in there. I feel like I've seen that in her house too.
In your granny's house?
In my granny's house.
Well, didn't she live in Clay City?
Oh yeah.
Probably had
Yeah.
one.
Granny wasn't a big collector of antiques. My granny liked new stuff. She wasn't
Oh.
the typical
Uh-huh.
old lady granny by no means. She had a lot, and she had a few pieces, but I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen some great aunt along the line somewhere.
Yeah.
But
I think
it's beautiful
I
stuff.
feel like I've kind of seen some of this stuff too before, but
I picked up at an auction one time, and there was this little bitty, and it's a great, and I've got it. I wish I would have brought it. Maybe we'll do a segment on depression glass. And it's a little bitty green tumbler about like this, about this tall, about this big around. Beautiful, dark green, and that's what they would use in cereal boxes. And oatmeal boxes.
oh my.
So, like, instead of, like, you'd have, like, today, like, we just take some, like, a spoon or something, or what's the thing when you measure stuff? A measuring cup? That, it literally had this beautiful, I was at an auction, and I'm like, what is this cute little cup? And that's what it was. It was actually in your oatmeal containers and your cereal containers. So, instead of, like, opening up a box of Cracker Jacks back in the 20s and 30s, you would open up your oatmeal, and there'd be this beautiful green tumbler in there, and that's what you would use to scoop out your oatmeal or your cereal, which I think is super cool.
Cool. Well, one thing about the Clay City Glass Company, and this I'm going to be upfront and say I don't really truly understand what they did, but I have a paper here. They during the war, so it's something about which there wasn't a war in the 1920s, but you were coming off of World War I.
Right.
I guess that they had something said to them that they weren't said. In the time of war, to transact any lawful business in aid of the United States in the prosecution of war, to make donations to associations and organizations. I think they had to sign something that if there was a war that they would maybe, I'm wondering if like stop manufacturing glass and do something for the war.
Oh.
For the war effort.
I wonder if that, so that, would that be clothing and any type,
I don't know.
Or any type of
or if they
novelty?
Or maybe it meant, like if they were in glassware, that they would send stuff to help the army.
Wow, that's interesting. Can somebody help us out with that?
I couldn't really make heads or tails of that, but it talked about, during the war. So, but there wasn't a war at the time, but apparently they had to sign papers that if there was a war, that they would not make a profit and that they would help the war movement.
Huh.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. So again, I'm not a professional historian by any means, and I just found that and thought I would mention it, but
right.
I didn't make true heads or tails out of that one.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that, and we'll tell the viewers where they can send us some information on that after our next commercial break.
Because it is commercial, so we'll be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth.
And I am Stacey.
Today we're talking about the Clay City Glass Company, a business that most people did not even know existed in the 1920s in Clay City, and it was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and you could still drive by that beautiful building.
Yeah.
And on the north side, see the etching of the Clay City Glass Company on top of the building.
Yeah, because these guys, they sent glassware all over the United States.
By the thousands of
Thousands
pieces.
and thousands, right out of at the depot, just the Clay City Depot,
Yep.
which is a little bitty
Which
building.
is a little bitty
but
building.
Whoop, put it on a train, and off it went all over.
Shipped her right on out to markets.
But it sadly didn't last long, did it?
No. Hey, Beth, you want to tell our viewers where we can be seen?
Sure, yeah. So we are on Wabash Communications, Channel 100, daily, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. But also we are on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is By the Way with Beth and Stacey. You may be watching us on there right now.
That's
but,
true.
That's a good way for people that don't live here anymore, but have their heart is still in Clay County. They can kind of keep up and reminisce with us about the days of old.
The days gone by. How could your heart not beat with Clay County?
I don't know. You know what? There are people that are watching this show that aren't even from Clay County. I have a friend in Italy that watches. She loves it. Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Lydia.
So, I mean,
Yes.
you don't have to be from Clay City to appreciate or from Clay County to appreciate our history.
Yeah,
Everybody
maybe
loves history.
Lydia should come and be on our show.
Oh, she would be great. She's an opera singer.
That's right. Did I meet her?
You did.
I did meet her, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She speaks multiple languages. Yeah, she's
very talented, beautiful.
She's a great artist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think Lydia needs to fly into Italy.
Yes.
We don't pay, so you're going pro bono, girl.
Yeah, she needs to fly over here and
that would be wonderful.
So
wonderful. Where were we at?
We were talking about the Clay City Glass Company. I was going to tell you my email our email.
Yes, get on
that.
So
if you have show ideas or you have information about Clay City Glass you want to throw in, or any comments, questions about our shows, you can always email us, and our email address is By the Way with Beth and Stacey, and Stacey has an EY at the end, at gmail.com.
Yes, we would love to hear. I would love to. Well, I'm not technically savvy. I am actually technically challenged. So you'll have to email Beth, and Beth will tell me what's going on.
Exactly. I'm the one that checks the emails. I'll let
her know. Boy. Well, that's what you get for having old friends.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what's
really
my
old.
age different on you? What do I got on you?
I think like 10 or 12 years.
Is it only 10 or 12?
Yeah.
Boy, it seems like
nothing.
That's nothing. Shoot.
But now we're in our 40s and 50s.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, who counts anymore?
Yeah.
Who counts anymore?
Oh,
so where'd we leave off? We left off with Clayson Black and Williams Hopkins owning it in 28, and then it went by the wayside.
In 1930. So they owned it together, just the two of them, for 2 years.
Yes.
And then the Depression hit, and then 1930, it was like kaput. Okay, so then what happened to it? Well, one of the main guys, let me find my notes here.
Did Jim Levitt work for them?
Jim Levitt did work for them, but I want to get to him in a minute.
Okay.
But the Black, Clayson Black, who was one of the original owners there, he took all of the leftover glassware that was left in the upstairs of that building, and he put it in the trunk of his car. I guess he had a lot of, egg cartons and towels to wrap it up in. Anyway,
Wow.
He drove around all over, I think, our county, but other area, and he pedaled it out of the back of his truck because he was trying to make every last dime he could off of it. I'm sure he was losing money.
I bet, and
his business went under.
Because I wonder what a piece like this would have cost in the 30s anyway.
Not much.
Not much. Now you go to an auction, and you're probably, for this one little tumbler, going to pay $25 or $30 for it.
Yeah, it was probably 25 cents then.
It was probably, and then if he's peddling it, wouldn't that have been nice?
So he took whatever was left, and he just tried to make as much money as he could off of what he had there, because I'm sure his business had just went under. I mean, he was trying to.
How heartbreaking would that be? Mm-hmm. You make this beautiful etching on this beautiful glass, and it's just, I don't know, anytime any business goes down, it's heartbreaking.
It's sad.
To
so
me.
Also in the upstairs,
people put their heart and soul into them.
And the upstairs of that building was full of the machinery that they had used to cut the glass. All this glass cutting machinery. Well, it sat there for a little while, but it ended up Mr. Jim Levitt of Clay City. He had been an employee there. He bought it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
He bought the machinery and he put it in his basement in his house in Clay City, and then he did it as kind of, I don't think it was his full, I would be surprised if it was his full-time job. I think it was kind of like a little side gig. Like, in the evenings he would carve some glass and sell it.
Yeah, and Jim was a very, a man with integrity, because he did not, there was a saying that Jim said that, like, he went on his own route with different designs. Leaves, and his design on his glass was like an apple with the vine and a worm on the apple vine going to the apple. And he said that he was, like I said, he didn't use the Clay City glass. He said that another designer does not take another designer's designs.
Well,
and he did not, so he started his own. Etching, and I have never come across.
Well, if I did, I wouldn't have known it. I wonder if he signed the bottom of his. He should have.
I don't know, but yeah, it's like he created his own designs, worm on a tomato vine, 2 spear designs, and a flower design. So Jim Levitt actually has three designs on glasses out there.
Okay.
I've never seen any of those, so that would be something I would love for our viewers.
Yeah, if
anybody has,
was made by Jim Levitt, we would love to see it.
I would love to see that, because I haven't seen it.
So Jim lived at 125 South 3rd Southwest in Clay City. I know they're
Clay City street names.
Why so many directions? I'm so confused. But anyway, I have not driven by there. I think there is still a building there. I don't know if it is a house or even the house that he lived in. But if you're in Clay City, the address again was 125 South 3rd Southwest. If there's an old home there, Mr. Jim Levitt did his glass carving business in the basement.
Yeah, how neat is that?
Yeah, pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And he did that up until 1964.
Okay.
Yeah, so he did that for quite some time.
Wow. And somebody else said that he even had a store in Flora. And I don't know.
Really?
Well, Jim, who was it that mentioned that? I don't know. Somewhere along the line, it might have been in that newspaper article I read, that he had a store in Flora. And I'm wondering if he sold glassware there.
I wonder if what you were talking, like, so he was in the 60s. He didn't shut down until 64. So I wonder if that would have been like at Murphy's or Jayco's, because those would have been in existence at the time.
Yeah.
And back in the day, there weren't like craft vendors like we have now.
No.
Yeah, there wouldn't be craft vendors, so you would have had to. So I wonder, like, if you're a merchant, and I wonder if, like, you're like, I still think of, like, okay, we're going to go back to Little House on the Prairie days, and the guy comes in with the Surrey with the fringe on top, and he's got the stuff, and he, like, walks in with his stuff, and he sets it on Mr. Olson's.
The peddlers.
The peddlers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they were kind of like, 1960s peddlers. I wonder if he just walked in.
Yeah.
They could still be, well, he would be quite aged. Yeah, they're probably, the Levitts probably are not, he's probably not living anymore.
I don't think so. I think I saw somewhere he'd passed away.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So then he would have, probably peddled this stuff at Murphy's or Ricksaws or Jayco's or any of those.
I'm pretty sure that he did pass away, because then the machinery was sold to a man in Olney.
Yes. I wonder where it's at now.
Then where did it go?
That's where our story ends.
Are you watching in Olney and you got a lot of weird machinery in your basement and you're wondering what it is? It could be this.
I mean, if you think about that, if that's the machinery that etched Clay City glass, and we are 100 years past that. What is this year?
Yeah.
23.
Yeah,
we're knocking on the door of 100 years old. The glass company was started in what, 1924? So we are less than a year away from the glass company being 100 years old started.
Right.
So if you've got that machinery, because he sold it to a gentleman in Olney, we have no idea who the name is or how much he sold it for. So that
would be interesting to know how much
that
it
would
sold
be interesting
for.
to know.
And like compared to how much was he making off of tumblers in 1964 before Jim sold it, versus how much they made 40 years prior in 1924.
Interesting.
How much did the price go up?
Yeah, that would be interesting. And we would love, for the viewers out there, we would love for you guys to share us pictures of your Clay City glass. That would
send
be
them to
wonderful.
us. We're going to have
Please.
an episode soon of like things that readers have submitted and or not
Oh,
really
how-
readers,
yeah.
but watchers. I don't
Watchers, yeah, I think you guys are watchers.
know. What do you call them?
Yeah.
Watchers, readers, whatever.
Whatever's, but yeah.
So
that's kind of interesting.
yes.
Then it just
So,
dissolved.
It just went away.
And it just went away. So, yeah, it was just a baby business. I mean, literally, the business was shut down in 1930, so it went from 24 to 30. That's it.
6
Bada bada
years.
boom. Made beautiful things and was in business for 6
Yeah.
years.
And it was huge, but just short-lived.
Yep.
So
Didn't make it very long,
You
did
know
it?
more about Clay City than I do. Was there other businesses right there in that downtown that were
Oh,
like
yeah.
great, that were? I mean, I know there were businesses, but
Yeah.
was there anything else on this scale of like?
I don't think that there was it wasn't like, like when we talked about the apple orchards and we talked about that type of thing, but Clay City did have a nice business district. It had restaurants and it had bars and that type of thing, mechanic shops downtown. And but yeah, Clay City would be a very, because that building that's coming down now is that, I think it's the Murphy building. Gosh, I could be wrong, but they are tearing it down. It has a beautiful history. It had a loft in it. And
cool.
yeah, so we definitely, like we did Oskaloosa and we did Sailor Springs. We definitely want to do a downtown business on Clay City.
Okay.
My life in Clay City is all about the oil boom.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather, Roy Franklin, he lived in Sailor Springs. My grandmother, Doris Hunley, which there was Hunleys mentioned.
Yeah,
on
they
that.
were one of the investors.
She was in
weren't they?
between Clay City and Sailor Springs. And then when they first got married, my grandfather, they had 6 children, and they moved into Flora.
Okay.
And actually, my mom is the oldest. My mom was the oldest, and her and my dad were married, actually in my grandparents' house there, just down the street from the junior high, a little house right there.
Yeah.
And my grandfather worked for Halliburton. So then after he worked for Halliburton, then he, after my mother and her brother Floyd graduated from Flora High School, he moved the family over to Clay City. Even though it was 6 miles, Clay City was the place to be when you're talking oil. And he started Franklin Acidizing Company, where he did the acidizing. And then after that, then my grandpa, he ended up selling that business to my uncle Mark Franklin and my uncle Butch Franklin. And so they took over the acid company. My grandfather started Watch It Oil Corporation. And my grandfather did very well in the oil business.
It was a big oil town.
It was a big oil town. Yeah, it sure was. Yeah.
It's got a good history, Clay City.
Oh, Clay City's got a beautiful history. We
It's kind of sad shape today, though. It makes me a little sad, all the empty downtown buildings.
Well, and what's going to happen when those buildings are gone?
Yeah.
What becomes of that? Because, remember when we were in Oskaloosa?
Yeah, like a ghost town.
When we were in Oskaloosa, I mean, it was like, oh, this used to be here, and that used to be here, and that's exactly what's going to be happening with Clay City if we're not careful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, it's time for another commercial,
It
though,
is.
isn't it? Okay.
It is.
goes fast. We'll be right back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Royal King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Rural King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Okay, we are back. So welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
And I am Stacey Earlywine.
And we have talked about the Clay City Glass Company today, and that was a really interesting history. Just one more business in Clay County that I didn't even really know about, and it was a big deal back in the day. So that was today's episode.
Yeah, and we had our beautiful pieces that we brought along with us.
Yes, thank you to John Baylor for those.
Yes, John Baylor is going to be a good source for us.
Yeah, he knows a lot about Clay County history. If you know John,
he does.
He's got a lot of history up there in his head,
we'll give a shout out to John, and we'll get a shout out to Don Thomas. Don Thomas is our friend. He is the husband of Rena Lentz Thomas, and we get a lot of I'll tell you what, boy, they kept her stuff in prime condition. They sure did. They
have a library of all of the history that she has written or did write throughout her life, and
there's a lot of
other things that she didn't write, but that were to do with Clay County that she kept because she was good about keeping everything.
God bless her.
Yeah, because it's all very well organized, and if we need to look up something on local history, that's a really good resource for us.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, we're going to have some of you young ones in your 20s and 30s right now. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you love history, somebody's going to have to step in our shoes someday.
Right. Yeah.
We definitely love history of Clay County. We love our town, and you know what I love?
What?
Easter.
Oh.
I love Easter.
Good. I want to love Easter. I'm going to be honest. It's not my favorite holiday.
My favorite holiday is Easter.
Yeah. I'm still in mourning that I have to wear a T-shirt.
I know.
That it's like hot because I want it to be cold.
Yeah.
I want to wear my long
She
sleeves.
doesn't like Easter because she mourns winter.
Yeah.
People. That's just the truth of who
Can't
Beth
help
is.
it. I like the cold.
I just don't like the cold. And you never wear shorts, do you? Or capris?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I like pants.
You like pants? I'm digging that jacket.
Thanks. Isn't this cool?
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like a Sergeant
I have that
Pepper?
vibe going on.
Yeah,
don't
she
I?
does have that vibe going on.
A little Beatles.
A little Beatles.
I love the Beatles.
Oh, gosh. Right?
Man, one of my favorites. I mean, who doesn't?
Who doesn't love the Beatles? What's your favorite Beatles song?
Probably Hey Jude, but...
Is it?
Yeah, but I don't know. There's a lot of fast ones I like, too.
Ooh, I need your love, babe.
Yes.
Girl, you know it's true. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'll be in the car. Don't you want my love, babe? Oh, I love it. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, I had my grandson Jack and JoJo. I call my granddaughter. We call her JoJo Bean, and her name is Joanna. And have I mentioned today how perfect they are?
No, but you should.
I should mention how perfect my grandchildren Jack and Joanna Earlywine are, and they were in the back seat, and I'm like, that song 8 days a week came on. Man, I cranked that up.
The part about JoJo?
Oh, no, 8 days a week. No, just the song. 8 days a week. And it's on like, Jack, oh my gosh, this is Yaya's favorite song. I'm like, do you like this song, sissy? She'd shake her head. Yeah, she's a...
JoJo?
Yeah.
What's that one?
Oh,
You know?
Get Back, JoJo.
Yeah, in the
Is that
background.
actually a Beatles or is that the Wings?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. That might be Paul McCartney and Wings.
I don't think so. I think
Is
it's
it?
Beatles.
Get Back, JoJo. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm
kind of
gonna
like in the background.
I'm gonna have to say that. And Jack was just like, Yaya, that song's great. Like, that's right, buddy. That song is great. I don't know
Raising
if
up fans.
he is, but yeah. So I'm a big Beatles fan. That's one of my favorite songs. I don't. Gosh, what other music? If you were to get in your car right now, what's on your radio?
I have a few different ones I flip between, but it's usually 70s.
Yeah.
The 70s are my go-to jams.
Yeah.
Funny, my kids from an early age could sing about any song from the 1970s.
Yeah.
And their friends were like, I don't know that song.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, you don't know this? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Let me think of one. What's that one? Carissa sings it. We had fun. We had seasons
We had
in the
joy,
sun.
we had fun. We had seasons in the sun.
Yeah. My little 3-year-old's running around singing that.
Oh yeah. When Mac was little and he was in the car seat and he was about 3, and Mac was a really early talker, and bum 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 bum, and right on target, my little baby in the back went, "Oh, Susie Q," and I'm like, "I am the best mom." Oh, sing it, son. Oh, hit that right on top. Oh yeah.
Gosh, we also do country in our car too. So like,
I never do country. I never do it.
When my oldest was just a baby, she would kind of get a little fussy in the car. The only thing that would calm her down in the car was Johnny Cash. The Best of Johnny Cash. Had it on CD, and he had a really good rhythm. All of his songs have a good rhythm, and that drum beat would start, and quiet. She was an early talker too. So by like 18 months, she was singing all about Folsom Prison.
I love it.
I mean, she knew every word.
I fell into a burning rain of fire.
She could sing that one. Jackson, like we would sing, because Jackson was
I'm
2
going
parts.
Jackson,
and so I would sing one part, and she would sing the other.
I love it.
Yeah. But,
how funny is that?
Yeah.
I know. And then my son Connor, when he went to college, he needed like a music set to work out to. And of course, Jim's favorite's Boston. Oh, he loves Boston. That's Jim's favorite. Jim doesn't have a lot of favorite things, but Boston is his all-time favorite. So, and I like Journey, and I like REO. I love all the 70s music, Aerosmith. And I will remember one time when Connor came home, he's like, "Mom, there's this really cool band. They got this song out. They're called Aerosmith." And I'm like, "Honey, they've been around for 70 years, so Mom used to listen to that." And he made a set. I wouldn't be a cassette tape. What would a con man have had to listen to?
Like a mixed CD,
like on one of them little things.
He would have it.
And,
that or
what was those little stick things that you put all that music on?
Oh, he would have had like a flash drive.
Yeah, something like that. And so Jim hooked Connor up with all the 70s stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was that. Now, if you get into my car, it depends on what car you get into. I have it on the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yes.
I love my Pandora. I am a big Motown. I'm a doo-wop girl. My favorite all-time singer in the world is Barbra Streisand.
Okay.
Barbra Streisand. I raised that. My voice came from listening to Barbra Streisand.
Oh.
Every day after school, I'd go up to my bedroom, put my headphones on, and I would sing Barbra Streisand at the top of my lungs.
Well, that was a good.
It was a good vocal
learning tool.
Oh yeah, that's where I learned to sing. Was Barbra Streisand.
I will listen to you sing any day. Barbra Streisand, she can hit the. Not a fan, but you can sing her songs.
I
That's
like
fine.
her songs, yeah. And I'm a bit Aretha Franklin. Patsy Cline. I like my Patsy Cline. I couldn't go anywhere where my mom would be like, "Stacey, sing Patsy Cline." And I like Pink.
Yeah.
I like Pink now.
I listen to everything.
I do too. I'm a Lady Gaga girl. And I started listening. I changed. If you get in my convertible, probably you're going to see Michael Bublé.
Okay.
Because there's just something about driving a convertible with Michael Bublé blaring in the background.
I have a convertible too, and I don't listen.
You don't listen to Michael Bublé?
No,
and
I have to try it though.
The Pistol Annies.
Oh, I love the Pistol Annies.
Pistol Annies and Aretha Franklin. You'll hear me blaring in my.
Yeah.
I had to be careful though, because I used to have a little scooter. Of course, when you're driving downtown, you're like me, But I always have a song in my head, and so I would be driving downtown singing to myself.
Yes.
People probably thought I was a crazy scooter lady.
I don't have a great voice, but I sing all the time in the car.
I love to sing. Yeah.
And normally it's Christmas music. So, like, if you were to pull up my iPhone right now and go to, like, most recently listened to, it's Essential Christmas.
So, what's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, gosh. It's probably Winter Wonderland just because it's on constant repeat in my head. 24 hours a day, 356 days a week.
Winter Wonderland. That's your favorite?
Yes. But, I listen to all of it.
Chestnuts roasting on an open
that
fire.
one.
That's my favorite. I think that's probably my favorite one. I like Sleigh Riding. La, da, 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 la, da, da,
yeah, I love that one too. I love them all. I really can't pick a favorite. But if I'm not listening to Christmas, it's usually 70s or 60s.
Yeah, I do.
But I'm an 80s girl. I mean, I was raised in the 80s, so
me too.
I know all the words to those songs too.
I do.
But I have a heart for the 60s and 70s. That's my dad's music. My dad, I was raised on that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
my mother raised us on Engelbert Humperdinck. And my mom was a big Patsy Cline person.
Yeah.
So
here's a funny story. So I love Paul Simon. Love Paul Simon. Love me some Paul Simon. That's on my phone too all the time. Well, back, I don't know, I think it was in the 90s maybe. My mom came home one day and she was like, "Did you hear that Paul Simon died?" And I started crying. I was like, "What? He died? Oh my gosh!" And she's like, "I had no idea that you even knew like anything about him." I'm like, "Paul Simon? He's my favorite." I'm like, "He sings. You can call me Al. I love that song." She's like, she started laughing. She's like, "Oh, honey."
no.
It was the senator named Paul Simon. You remember him? There was a senator named Paul Simon.
Yeah.
He died. I don't know. Google it. Whatever year that was, I was in tears.
How funny is that?
It was the real Paul Simon.
He was my favorite senator. How did that happen?
Yeah, she's like, "Oh no, honey, not that Paul Simon."
That makes me laugh.
Yeah. Oh, I was distraught.
They're good. Simon and Garfunkel, really good. They got some great.
Yeah.
They're hard to sing sometimes. Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, if you don't care how you sound, like me,
well,
you're gonna sound bad either way. You just go for it.
I kind of care. It's hard though to. I guess if you did your favorite '60s song or your favorite '70s song, but boy, to put out like if anybody ever asks what's your favorite song, I gonna draw a complete and total blank.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite song.
Gosh, it would be hard.
Because I like all genres.
Me
I can
too.
pick a favorite from each genre, probably.
Yeah.
But for me to just narrow it down
to
one all-time favorite song, I will say, if I had to pick one, it might be Nobody by Sylvia.
Really?
Love that song.
Really?
Malia and I used to duet that all the time when she was like 18 months, 2 years old, 5 years old, all through the years. That's always been our song.
You know, you mentioned different decades and genres. Like I graduated in 1985, so I'm an 80s girl. But the 80s to me had the best fashion and the best movies. I still think when it comes to music, the 70s trumpet every time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can beat that 70s
sound. Mm-mm.
Oh no, it's just great. You hear those songs come on from the 70s, and you know, little Steppenwolf. You know.
Oh yeah, Jeremiah was a both.
Oh,
Joy to the World.
Oh yeah,
love it.
Great harmonies on that one too. We got rules to live by.
Oh yeah, we haven't done that today.
We have not done our rules to live by.
We always end our show with rules to live by.
Yeah.
For those that have just tuned in for the first time, this is a list. What's today's say?
Live as if it's your last day.
Oh, that's so good, and I do. I try to do that. I really do. I try.
Oh, every day should be like you're, you know.
Some days I fail at that, but
for
the most part, I just, I'm a big believer in that.
I just think you should try to be happy.
You never know.
Be happy all the time, and it's hard. I mean, you guys know, the world we live in is hard, and people kind of, you know, aren't fans of each other, and you can get bickering and that, and social media is good, and then it's probably the most horrific thing that's ever happened to the world.
I agree.
I love social media as far as like seeing, I have cousins who I love and adore, that live, my cousin Buffy lives in Chicago, and I have my Christy and Chad and some of the other ones, and Caleb, Indiana, and Tennessee. Nicole's in Tennessee, and Chad's down in Marion. And it's nice to be able to keep up with everybody's children as far as social media go. But otherwise, I think that social media makes it tough.
Oh yeah,
I do. I think social media is very difficult, and so sometimes you just need to let go and put down the pad.
Yep.
And to let it ride and just focus on that. There's nothing better than like right now with spring approaching. Go outside, see how the grass is changing colors. Yeah. People are mowing their yards. Jim got out yesterday, got the mower out with him and Jack, and mowed a little bit. And the smell of that fresh cut grass just lifted my spirits. How green it was. The smell, everything's changing. The ball fields are coming alive. You know, if you're sad, just take a trip down to the ball field and see all those little kids down. There's nothing cuter than a little boy walking down the ball field with a bat on his shoulder and his little hat on. Yeah. Go down to the ball field, take a gander at the children. That'll make you happy. And
yes. Yep.
Live as if it's your last day.
Absolutely. So that kind of wraps up our show.
It
for
sure
today.
does. It does. Good one.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for joining us on By the Way with Beth and Stacey. And, you know, be sure to send us an email, or if you have any show ideas or anything you want to hear us talk about, we'd love to. So thank you. Bye-bye.
God bless.